Hey guys, a very good day to you all. In this video, we will understand the concept of covalent bond. It is better if you all know what is octet rule as well as ionic bond. And if you all do not know that, then don't worry guys, the link is given in the description box below, or you can simply click on this I button which is present on the right top corner of your screen. Okay, so let's start with this today's video. Okay, so ionic bonding is possible only when electronegativity difference between two atoms is large. Now what is the meaning of this? Like in the previous video we have seen sodium combines with chlorine and forms a ionic bond to give us sodium chloride. Now here the electronegativity of sodium is less and electronegativity of chlorine is high. Therefore, the difference in electronegativity of both the combining atoms is large, and that is the reason that they can form an ionic bond. But guys, I have a question for you all. How the molecules H2, N2, O2, Cl2 are formed? Because if you consider H2, H2 is made up of two hydrogen atoms, and both the hydrogen atoms will obviously have same electronegativity. So will there be an ionic bond present in them? Obviously not, because ionic bond requires large difference in electronegativity. So how are these molecules formed? How are these atoms combined with each other? So there was a question in front of everyone. So it was G and Lewis who introduced the concept of covalent bonding in molecules. Now if I directly tell you all the definition of covalent bonding, then you all will not understand anything, and that doesn't make any sense, right? So what I am going to do is that I am going to explain you all the concept of covalent bonding. And to understand the concept, let's move on to my book. So guys, what I am going to do is now I am going to explain you all two examples, and with the help of those two examples I'll make sure that the concept of covalent bond is crystal clear for you all. Okay, so the first example is understanding the formation of molecule Cl2. Now first of all, you must know how to write the electronic configuration of Cl. So the electronic configuration of Cl is nothing but 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. Now the next thing that I am going to do is that I am going to draw a diagram of chlorine atom. Okay, so obviously in the center there is nucleus, and in the nucleus can I say there are 17 protons present. Why there are 17 protons present? Because the atomic number of chlorine is nothing but 17. Now in the first energy level, as can I say, in the first energy level there are 2 electrons present. Okay, now in the second energy level, guys my handwriting is bad. In the second energy level there are 2 plus 6, 8 electrons present. So I am going to represent these 8 electrons now. And in the third energy level, guys, can I say there are 2 plus 5, 7 electrons present. Okay, these are the 7 electrons. Now it is obvious, for the formation of a chlorine Cl2 molecule you require 2 chlorine atoms. So what I am going to do is that I am going to draw another chlorine atom by a different color, so that it is easier for you all to distinguish between them. Okay, so the structure of a chlorine atom, another chlorine atom, is obviously going to be same just like this chlorine atom. So in the center there is a nucleus, and in the nucleus there are 17 protons present. Now in the first energy level, obviously again here there will be 2 electrons present. In the second energy level, there are again 2 plus 6, 8 electrons present. And in the third energy level, there are 2 plus 5, 7 electrons present. Same like this chlorine atom only. Okay. Now, guys, if I ask you one question, are these both chlorine atoms stable? So the answer would obviously be no. Both of them are unstable. Why both of them are unstable? Because according to the octet rule, in the outermost energy level, there must be 8 electrons present. Why 8 electrons present? Because if there are 8 electrons present in the outermost energy level, then the atom will attain a stable electronic configuration. Now, for those who do not know what is an octet rule, I've already uploaded a separate video on this. You can find the link in the description box below, or you can simply click on the I button which is present on the right top corner of your screen. Okay, so we have understood one thing, that to be stable there must be 8 electrons present in the outermost energy level. But here if you observe, in both of these chlorine atoms there are only 7 electrons present in the outermost energy level. So guys, can I say both of the chlorine atoms require 1 electron each? Why do they require 1 electron each? Because if they get 1 electron in the outermost energy level, then their outermost energy level will contain 8 electrons, and hence they will become stable. So both of the chlorine atoms require 1 electrons each. Now guys, there is a rule during the formation of a covalent bond which nobody is going to tell you all. So listen carefully. Okay. So now, since both of the chlorine atoms require 1 electrons each, then both of the chlorine atoms need to donate, or you can instead say contribute. They need to contribute 1 electron during the formation of covalent bond. Now how they are going to contribute, don't worry about that, I will explain you. So just understand this thing. If they require 1 electron each, then both of them have to contribute 1 electron each during the formation of covalent bond. Now suppose if they required 2 electrons each, then both of them have to contribute 2 electrons each during the formation of covalent bond. Now since they require 1 electrons each, we will understand how they are going to contribute 1 electron now. Okay, so for that what I am going to do is that I am going to draw the Levy structure of both of these diagrams. Now what is a Levy structure? In the Levy structure we only represent the outermost energy level electrons. Okay, so I will represent these 7 electrons. I am drawing a Levy structure for this diagram first. Okay, so there are 7 electrons present in the outermost energy level. Okay, so this is a Levy structure for this atom, and for this atom I am drawing another Levy structure over here. Okay, the 7 electrons as you can see over here. Now guys, don't get confused, electrons are same in both of these atoms. I have just represented them by a different sign just for your understanding. Okay, otherwise you will get confused that electrons are different in different atoms. Okay, so this is the Levy structure for both of these diagrams. Now as mentioned over here, both of them are going to contribute 1 electron. Okay, now let's say that this chlorine atom contributes this electron and this chlorine atom contributes this electron, and what they are going to do is, now with the help of these 2 electrons they are going to form a bond. As we know For the formation of a bond, to form a bond we require two electrons. Okay, so with the help of these two electrons, they are both going to form one bond. Let's see how. See, these two electrons as it is, then these two electrons I am going to draw as it is, then these two electrons as it is below. Now I am not drawing this electron, this one electron, just for next 1 minute. Okay, now again for this chlorine atom, these two as it is, the 6 electrons I am drawing as it is. Now see, this one electron of chlorine atom and this one electron of this chlorine atom, they both are going to form a bond, and now this is the Levy structure of two new chlorine atoms. Now here is the important part that you need to understand. This pair, this bond, or you can say this pair of electrons, does not belong to any single atom. Instead, this pair of electrons belongs to both of them. Both the atoms are going to share this one pair of electron. So now if someone asks you that how many electrons are present in the outermost energy level of this chlorine atom, then you will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So now there are 8 electrons present in the outermost energy level of this chlorine atom, as well as there are 8 electrons present. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the outermost energy level of this right hand side atom. So let me repeat once again. This pair of electron, see this pair of electron which is forming a bond, between both of these atoms, does not belong to a single chlorine atom. Instead, both these electrons belong to both of them atoms. In other words, you can say that these two electrons are being shared by both of these electrons, both of these atoms. Okay, so these two electrons are being shared by both of these atoms. Okay, and guys, this bond that is being formed is called as a covalent bond. So if someone asks you a simple definition of a covalent bond, what is the simple definition of a covalent bond? A bond that is formed by sharing of pair of electrons. So when two atoms share a pair of electrons and form a bond, that bond is called as a covalent bond. This is the basic definition that I am saying. I will explain you all the actual definition later on. So guys, I hope you have understood the first example, that is the formation of Cl2. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to explain you all another example, and with the help of this example, it's my guarantee that the concept will get crystal clear if you have understood this one example. Okay, so the next example is understanding the formation of N2. Okay, now first of all, obviously you must know what is the electronic configuration of nitrogen. So the electronic configuration of nitrogen is nothing but 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Now let us draw the diagram of a nitrogen atom. So in the center there is a nucleus present, and then in the nucleus there are 7 protons present. Why 7 protons? Because the atomic number of nitrogen is 7. In the first energy level, there are 2 electrons present. In the second energy level, there are 2 plus 3, 5 electrons present. Okay, now obviously for the formation of N2 we require 2 nitrogen atoms. So let us draw another nitrogen atom. Again 7 protons. In the first energy level there are again 2 electrons present. In the second energy level again there are 2 plus 3, 5 electrons present. Okay, done. Now again, if I ask you as the same question, are both these atoms stable? Then the answer would obviously be no. Why? Because according to the octet rule, see, according to the octet rule, we require 8 electrons present in the outermost energy level, whereas here there are only 5 electrons present in the outermost energy level. So guys, can I say that both nitrogen atoms require 3 electrons each? Why do they require 3 electrons each? Because if they get 3 more electrons in the outermost energy level, then their outermost energy level will contain 8 electrons, and as a result of this they will become stable and they will attain a stable electronic configuration. So guys, both the nitrogen atoms require 3 electrons each. Now, as I mentioned you all earlier over here, since both the nitrogen atoms require 3 electrons each, then they have to contribute 3 electrons each. Now, since both the nitrogen atoms require 3 electrons each, both the nitrogen atoms have to contribute 3 electrons each for the formation of a covalent bond. So guys, let us draw the Levy structure now. So first of all, I am going to draw the Levy structure for this atom. So nitrogen, and we represent only the outermost energy level electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now for this atom, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So as mentioned over here, it is going to contribute 3 electrons each. So let's say that this nitrogen atom contributes these 3 electrons, and this nitrogen atom contributes these 3 electrons. And now let us see how they are going to form a bond, that is a covalent bond. Now let me remind you all, for the formation of a one bond you require 2 electrons. For formation of a 2 bonds you will obviously require 4 electrons, and for the formation of 3 bonds you will obviously require 6 electrons. Now here let me draw first. Okay, this 1 electron and this 1 electron as it is. Then again for this nitrogen atom, this 1 electron and this 1 electron as it is. I have drawn by arrow over here. Okay, that doesn't make any difference. Okay, so this for 1 electron and this 1 electron as it is. Now as mentioned earlier, they both are going to contribute 3 electrons. These 3 electrons is being contributed by this atom, and these 3 electrons are being contributed by this atom. Okay, so this is how they are going to contribute 3 electrons. And now the new structure becomes something like this. And if you observe over here, there are 3 bonds that are being formed. See, one bond between these 2 electrons, another bond between these 2 electrons, and the third bond that is being formed between these 2 electrons. Now this is what I wanted to say, that 3 bonds require 6 electrons. Now since both of them give 3 3, so 3 plus 3 became 6 electrons, and hence there were 3 bonds that were being formed. Now as mentioned earlier, these 3 pair of electrons does not belong to a single nitrogen atom. instead all these three pair of electrons belong to both of these atoms. These three pairs are being shared by both these nitrogen atoms. So if someone asks you how many electrons are now present in the outermost energy level of this nitrogen atom, so your answer will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 8 electrons are present in the outermost energy level of this nitrogen atom. Again, if someone asks you how many electrons are present in the outermost energy level of this right hand side atom, so the answer will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because these 6 electrons, or you can say these 3 pairs, are being shared by both these atoms. These 3 pairs do not belong to a single atom. Guys, these 3 bonds that are being formed are nothing but your covalent bonds that are formed. So guys, I know that you are smart enough and you have surely understood what is the meaning of a covalent bond. So the basic definition is, again, there is a sharing of pair of electrons that takes place between two atoms, and because of the sharing of pair of electrons there is a covalent bond formed between two atoms. So guys, I hope you have understood two examples, what happens during the formation of N2 as well as what happens during the formation of Cl2. Now here there was only one bond that is being formed because they were contributing one electrons each. So 1 plus 1 becomes 2 electrons, and for one bond you require 2 electrons, whereas here for 3 bonds you require 6 electrons, and we were having 3 electrons that were being contributed by both these atoms. So both these atoms contributed 3 plus 3, 6 electrons. So therefore there were 3 bonds that were being formed. So guys, I hope you have understood the concept of covalent bond. So guys, in the examination obviously they will ask you for a definition. So there at that time you must be able to write the definition of a covalent bond. It is not necessary that you must only know the concept. Expressing your concept is the most important part. Okay, knowing concept is a good thing. Okay, so the attractive force which exists, why there is an attractive force that exists? Due to the mutual sharing of electrons. As you can see over here, there is a mutual sharing of electrons that is being taking place. Between whom? Between the two atoms of similar electronegativities. As you can see over here, obviously the two atoms of nitrogen are having same electronegativity. Between the two atoms of similar electronegativity, or even between the atoms having small difference in electronegativity, is called as a covalent bond. So this is a simple definition. Let us read it once again. The attractive force which exists due to the mutual sharing of electrons between the two atoms of similar electronegativity or having small difference in electronegativity. It is obvious that if the difference in electronegativity is huge, then there will be ionic bond that will be taking place, as we have understood it in the earlier lecture. Okay, and let me repeat once again guys, that this pair of electrons does not belong to a single atom. Instead they are being shared by both these atoms, and now they belong to both these atoms. As you can say that they are common to both the atoms. Okay, so guys, I hope you have understood the concept of covalent bond. If you have liked this video, then please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and go check out my channel where I have uploaded physics and chemistry videos. They might be helpful for you all. And guys, thank you for watching this video.